Protagonists that start weak to then get stronger as they show progress are one of the most common trends in the recent years of anime. It's what everyone loves to see, how they train or work hard, gain new abilities, and overall become a new or better person than they previously were. Today's video is going to be diving into some recommendations of 10 weak to strong anime main protagonists. If you are new on here, then please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel with the notification bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. But why don't we start this list off with a banger, most likely one of PA Works' best anime series of all time. This here is called Charlotte. This is a very cool show about people with extraordinary superpowers, but of course, there is a lot to it than just superpowers, of course. The protagonist Yu has eye powers, allowing him to pretty much take control of someone for a mere few seconds before he returns back to his body, and he used that to just fun around and even maybe cheat his way through school until he was actually busted by a girl from his school and threatened to expose him if he didn't join her club. The point of that club is to stop people with powers like you from exploiting or using them for fun, but that right there is only just the mere beginning of a very drastic storyline and what is more to come with uncovering Yu's true power and also potential. I honestly saw a lot of great potential in Grimm's Notes storyline. It's like you would have seen it many times in the anime you had run through, but basically everyone has a book telling them what will happen in their life that only they themselves can read at birth. But there are times when some exceptions do happen, and this is where our main protagonists are such exceptions. They have no written fate in their book, allowing them to just travel through the thick fog existing somewhere in their world, and they can become any hero that they want to, pretty much, and just, you know, they can set foot to wherever they want to be. The anime decides to repeat similar stories that they have, already succeeded in the past, but instead of making something new, that is the big problem though. It just wasn't too successful at doing that, but it was still a very fun watch if you have something that you need to check out. Have you guys ever witnessed glorious animation, especially an anime that features one of the greatest hand-to-hand combat sequences of all time? I never would have thought that Chinese anime could pull it off, but of course, Hitori Shita, the Outcast, and the developers over at Namu Animation have managed to very much create a great anime series full of action, fluid and solid animation all around, and of course, an epic journey you have to witness for yourselves. Everyone is very much entitled to their own opinion, but I truly believe that this anime will easily change your opinion so you guys can actually try out different Chinese animation series. Now, who would have thought that firing a low-ranked soldier from the Demon Lord's army would turn out to be overpowered in the end? Well, I really didn't see that coming, but this anime here is called Chillin' in My 30s after getting fired from the Demon Lord's army, and the title pretty much says it all. Dariel was a soldier of the Demon Lord's army and was fired due to not being able to use magic like every other being in the army. Now you see where I'm going. And was fired from his position with nowhere else to go. Turns out, however, well, Dariel is overpowered, even though he can't use magic, and now lives in a village with other regular humans as he hides his true identity as a former soldier of the army. Will the army want him back, or will Dariel spend the rest of his life in that village with his brand new family? Man, I am so eager to find out myself. Forced relationships are absolutely nothing but troublesome stuff to go through, especially when two characters are actually destined to become what is known as the Twin Star Exorcists, the most powerful duo in the whole world. In a world full of shonen series, Twin Star Exorcists will definitely not change anything about it, but with even that, I strongly recommend you guys to give this series a chance. The story is focused on these two characters, Rokuro and Benyo, in their lives as exorcists who fight dangerous creatures, but keep in mind that there will be a lot of filler episodes with backstories or even moments, but it doesn't hinder with the enjoyment of the actual show. The strongest thing in the series is actually the characters, because it focuses a lot on the relationship between Benyo and Rokuro, how in the beginning they hate each other so much to then accept their flaws and praise their strengths. This here is by all means a masterpiece of a series by none other than Wit Studio themselves and their unique production of Ranking of Kings. Boji is a prince and is next in line to be the king of the throne after his father would pass away, but many however do underestimate Boji's ability to become a king, and that reason is for him being deaf. Unable to speak or hear, people just laugh at him and don't really believe in his true abilities yet, but however it is said that he would become the strongest in the world. Now Boji just wishes to journey out to become stronger, which means leaving the kingdom to train and become a king that everyone can look up to. Fire Force offers one of the more original takes on shonen. Instead of being about a kid out to get stronger or take on the world, we would pretty much get a story about a world in which humans live in constant fear of suddenly exploding and turning into flame monsters. The fight scenes are the main selling point of any battle shonen, and they're done extremely well in Fire Force. Gorgeous animation and amazing sound design or OST to complement them, interesting premise, badass characters, and a story you can easily get hooked into, especially now that this anime is getting a second season sometime down the line. Ask yourself this question on how a show delivers such greatness that cannot be matched by other action shows. Well, the answer is pretty much simple. Ben 2 knows its place as an over-the-top parody work. Most shows just suffer from being blatant copies of each other and turn out to be bland by the time the second episode pops out. However, every single episode of Bento is simmered, well-roasted, and served with refreshments, and I truly mean that. The show's main appeal is its dramatic fighting sequences, and production David does very well on it. Just do not fear the absurd premise, because it really is kind of weird. In shopping malls, it is actually quite well known the fact that discounted goods are pretty much fought over all the time, but Bento just takes it into a different level and increases the fighting factor. The ridiculous over-the-top action scenes are rendered and always intense. Not even a typical pool episodes can hinder the awesomeness of punching people's stomachs for the sake of getting yourself a bento box. How about this time maybe a bit of a classic shonen martial arts series that is to this day, people still haven't even checked it out despite the show being amazing but of course underrated at the same time. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple is a masterpiece shonen series of how a guy gets, constantly beat up or even bullied to get stronger through proper hard work, training, without anyone else giving him any special powers. He does it all by himself to learn self-defense and martial arts at a dojo. If that doesn't sound badass, then I'm not really sure what does. But if you are a person who loves fighting anime and is looking for something with epic battles, intense rivalries, and a good laugh out of a series, then Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple is just the anime for you.
力とはその闇より生じるものと教わってきた。なのにこいつの目からはそれが一切感じ取れない。いや、むしろ光すら感じる。
Now we have arrived to the final show on the list, and what better way to end things off than to recommend The Rising of the Shield Hero, a perfect revenge story during its first season, where Naofumi was summoned to another world to become one of the 4 cardinal heroes, and he was chosen as the Shield Hero. In everyone's eyes, he is the weakest of the others, simply due to him being unable to attack or be useful. Many underestimate his abilities, and so he was led to get betrayed and accused for something he never did, causing him to be a castaway and be banished from the kingdom overall, where everyone just hates him. But now he ventures off to make a name for himself and show those who doubted the mighty Shield Hero wrong, and that he is indeed the strongest hero of them all. Just want to say a big thank you to watching all the way to the end of the video, because you just witnessed 10 weak to strong anime protagonists. If I have managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be great to share on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very new opinion, or just comment down below what you thought about a video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.